They do some really good things. I have $30 from Glyclarn that says, love this game when I was a kid, but I knew it as Super Robotector's Alien Rebels. Seems that a lot of people actually knew it that way. $75 from Coragno that says, putting this donation towards the two games I love the most, Undertale and Dark Souls 3. Best of luck, runners. AGDQ would also like to say thank you to Standby. Standby is a newly released fast-paced platformer on Steam. $1 from each sold copy of Standby is going directly to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Standby is an easy to pick up but hard to master fast-paced platformer with precise controls, which sounds perfect to go into the speedrunning for SGDQ in 2017. So get Standby today on Steam now with a 15% launch discount. Yep. I have $75 from DBH Kasumi that says, been watching GDQ since 2015. Love the cause you're supporting, and I hope to see more of what you do for years to come. $5 from Anonymous that says, college student doing my part here. Well, thank you, Anonymous. We appreciate it. $10 from Ultimate 9 saying, donating my $5 because everyone should be like that other guy said. Come on, Chad, it's quick, easy, and for a good cause. $1 million? Here we come. I have $13.37 from Frito that says, been watching all week and simply can't stop. Here's a fitting amount of cash for such an awesome event. Keep up the great work. Love from the Netherlands. I have $50 from Giant Dad 9 that simply goes, soup. $5 from Lamb Deer that says, from chat, challenge accepted. Let's hit 1 million. Very good. I hope everyone else in the chat accepts the challenge as well. $10 from D&D Maniac that says, I've been watching AGDQ on and off for the past few days. I just want to say well done to all the runners and good luck to those who still to play. This is my first time donating. Well, thank you very much for donating. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. $10 from Oh No's My Oreos, which says, first time donating. My mother is a cancer survivor, so I appreciate everyone contributing to the cause. Thanks to the entertaining runners, the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and AGDQ for the awesomely run event. Save the animals.
Yeah, you can eat here, just have it muted, and just wipe down the area afterwards so that way.
Here's a $250 anonymous donation says $250 to the name of the DS3 character Robbie Rotten because we are number one.
But I was sick over my hair appointment right before the event.
Sweet.
They do seem to be just about there.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching AGDQ 2017. It is time for me to switch out I've been Lennon Free. Thank you very much. Coming up next on the hosting station is April Cake.
Hello everyone, I'm April Cake, and I will be glad to be your host for the next few games during our great PlayStation block. Let's read a few more donations. That One Dead Guy donates $10 for his granny who's a breast cancer survivor. Roadkill Raccoon donates $75 and says, I've watched enough GDQ events to consider it a shame I haven't donated until now. This money is going to the Dark Souls 3 glitch exhibition because I want to see that game get messed up. Thanks for your donations. Okey-doke. We have $75 from an anonymous gamer who says, Crash Bandicoot 2 is a childhood favorite. My aunt had cancer, hope that we will soon not have to deal with it anymore. Naraxa15 donates $100 to my grandmother, who is basically my mother, died of cancer. I'm hoping my donation can help other mothers and fathers survive this disease. And it looks like we are just about ready to begin Crash Bandicoot 2 100% with Sword of Seals. So get hype, everyone.
All right. So I'll count you in, okay? So time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Crash Bandicoot 2, 100%. So basically what that means is every item that is available in the game will be collected. So that's all 25 crystals, all 42 gems, the 5 secret exits, and then beating Cortex. Straight off of the bat, you'll notice that the movement is quite fast. They changed quite a few things between Crash 1 and Crash 2. They added new movement mechanics, one of which is the slide, and we use that a lot. There it is. All right, I'll jump over that one next time. So the fastest form of movement is called NSS, and it stands for neutral slide spin. So whenever you do a slide, you can follow it up with a spin, and that's pretty fast. But if you don't, oh my God. All right. If you don't hold any input during the spin, it carries over the speed of the slide. So it makes your slide speed be the spin speed, essentially. I'm just going to play this incredibly safe. There we go. Okay, made it over the holes. Let's go. All right. So alongside with neutral slide spin, there's another tech as well, which we just basically call glitch high jumping. If you do a spin in a slide jump on the way up, you get more height, and it allows you to get gems like that. That's not the intended way to get that item. You're normally supposed to unlock it much later by doing like a platforming segment, but it takes so long to do that it's just not worth doing. Normally you can't act out of a slide jump because he does like a tomahawk animation, but if you do a spin on the way up, it basically resets your animation to normal, which allows you to do a body slam at the end of it, and that gives you the extra height that you need to get the gem. So there's the crystal. There we go, and that's the gem for that level. Bit of a shaky opening, but yeah. Another thing to note is that I'm playing on the European version of the game. This is kind of required in the sense that the European version of the game came out after the American version. They did quite a few bug fixes between the American version and the European version because there were quite a few issues with like the mechanics of the game, such as like an improved body slam. You can get stuck in boxes in the body slam during the American version. One thing that they did do, which is really, really nice, is they sped up the game to make up for the fact that back in the day, the European signal meant that games ran 5 frames slower than the American counterpart. So that actually increased his walking speed. So that's why we used the PAL version of the game. What I'm doing right now is something a little bit strange. Probably noticing that I'm running through the level and not actually touching any of the boxes this time around. And that's because this level actually has a hidden secret at the end of it, where if you don't break any boxes, you're awarded a gem, which I do need. These pits normally have like a bunch of rats at the bottom of them that you're supposed to do a fight, but you can just use the glitch high jump to get over the pit or jump out of the pit. I could finish the level right now and go to the end and be spat out of the warp room, but I still have the rest of the level to do. So we do a death abuse at the end of the level. So I restart at the beginning, and then I just break all of the boxes from here on out. If you want to read some donations now, is a pretty decent time. I don't really have much to say at the moment.
All right, I have the most important donation of the run, arguably. $7 from Dusty L. I have just one simple question for Sword. 105. Remember to ziggle that zaggle.
Never change, Dusty. Never change.
$5 from Cody21, who says, best of luck, Sword, Tuxie P, and when's 105. $20 from CJ225. I love Crash Bandicoot since I was a kid. Can't wait for the remastered games to come out in December. Krill's Art donates $100 and says, had to donate during one of my favorite games of all time, Crash Bandicoot 2, and I can't wait for the rest of the PS2 block. Best of luck to all the runners, and thank you to all the GDQ staff who make this event one of my favorite parts of the year. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, feel free.
The other Jim also donates $100. I got to share AGDQ with my 4-year-old son this year, and he was very distressed to hear people talk about killing animals. Edison says, you got to save the animals, people. Barry Foxes donates $15. My grandmother lost her battle with cancer, and video games helped me get through it. Can't wait to see Ratchet and Clank Going Commando get destroyed. Insomniac Games hopeful here, and I'm so glad it's getting its run this year. Keep up the gaming, guys. And now you're in another level, so would you like me to mute the mic? More donations? More donations. We have $10 from Kreger. Thank you to the organizers and runners of this awesome event. I want to see the Dark Souls 3 Glitch exhibition. Join me in jolly cooperation and make it happen.
Right, so this level is one of the chase levels where you actually do it backwards. You'll probably notice from the speed of the boulder that the movement is so overpowered that it allows you to just off-screen it without much effort. I do actually need to stand still and wait there for the boulder to break those boxes because it wouldn't actually break them if I were to off-screen them, just based on how the game works in terms of memory. The PlayStation 1 doesn't have that much memory, so whenever it's not on screen, it's not loaded, essentially. There we go. That's a bit of a finicky bonus. That can go badly, yeah. So box physics are a really, really interesting component of 100% that isn't present in any other category because, oh goodness, you don't need to break boxes in any other category other than 100. So there's a lot of cool, nifty things you can do, such as like spinning them in the air, like spin jumping off them, sliding off them. There's quite a few cool little tricks and things that we do. and that bonus demonstrated that quite nicely. Another thing that I haven't mentioned is the level order. You're probably wondering why I did level 2, then 1, then 5, and then I'm going to head to 3 and then do 4. It's basically oriented around masks for the most part. So the game has like a hit point system. He's called Aku Aku. He's the mask. He makes the noise Pumbaga or whatever he says. I don't know. Whenever you pick him up, you get granted 1 point of like invincibility against like enemies or like any kind of like burn damage. He doesn't save you from drowning, and he doesn't save you from falling down a hole, but he will pretty much prevent any kind of enemy from hitting you. Try our best to avoid collecting 3 of him at once, because it grants invincibility for a short time where he attaches himself to your face, and it plays like a little jingle, and you can just run through the level and be invincible for a bit. But the movement doesn't actually allow us to do NSS while we're in that state. So whenever I get a mask, I will either use it for the purpose of damage abuse, or I'll just like get rid of it at the end of a level by dying, because whenever you die, it just resets your mask count to 0. Like in this level, for example, there's a timer in the bottom right. I just have to get to the end to grab a gem. There's a timer challenge. Once you get to the end and grab the mask, then I just turn around and drown, and that resets my mask count to 0. There you go. So I won't have the mask now, and I won't have to worry about going into 3rd mask form. Oh, God. So I needed to do Turtle Woods before doing this level. So the level that I did, not the last level, but the level before, had the blue gem in it, which I acquired by not breaking any boxes. You need that gem to be able to do a section in this level as well. So there are some like route things that require you to take that into account. So that spawns this blue platform here. It basically takes you into a subsection of the level that has nothing but boxes, and you need that for 100%. So this route you would only ever see in this category, and it's pretty cool. I'm just going to try and focus a little bit on it, so it's given me some issues in the past. I'm just going to wait for this. So you go all the way out here to hit this. The metal box doesn't count towards the box count, but sometimes it activates events, so it made these boxes spawn, so I did need to hit it to make these boxes appear so I can get the box gem on this one. So once I've got that cleared out of the way, it's a pretty nasty death if I die anywhere from here to the next check, so I'm just going to play it precarious. I don't trust myself right now, and that's pretty much it now. So I just got to head to the end of the level, break the last remaining sections of crates, and be on my merry way. So if you have any more donations you want to read, feel free. Now's a pretty good time.
Absolutely. Zenman Pie 74 donates $500.
Whoa.
Congrats on a... Congrats on another extremely successful event. I haven't had the chance to watch as many runs as I would have liked, but I had to donate to support such a worthwhile cause. I've had many friends and family members impacted by cancer, so supporting this event is an obvious choice. Thanks to all the staff and runners that make this event the great success that it is.
Okay, so an interesting addition to this level is the introduction of a split route. So there's 2 routes in the level. There is an intended way you want to go down, like you ideally want to go down the left, since that's where the crystal is, and we need the crystal to finish the level. But there are some boxes down the right split. So when I get to the split route, I will go down the right split first, since there's 2 boxes right at the start that I need. Then after that, I will head my way down and go back out of the route, down the left route. There's another one of those metal activation boxes that spawn boxes down the right split. So this is like the most optimal way to do it. There is a little bit of backtracking, but I know where everything is, so it shouldn't be an issue. You can spin off the back of these birds, and they send you forward, and it can save time, but not in that instance. Try it here, yeah. So yeah, heading down this route now. Okay, so I mentioned briefly in a bonus that you can like spin jump. If you time like a spin and on the way down land from it and hold the jump button, you can actually break boxes that otherwise would take a while to break down. The boxes with like the lines down them, usually you have to jump on them 10 times to like get the 10 individual fruit pieces from them. But since fruit isn't important in the run, I just spin jump them to break them sooner. Same with TNTs, like they count down from 3 to 1 and then they explode, but for the most part I can just spin on them and then jump and escape without taking any damage. It's fine. Like I don't need any masks anymore, so. Okay. So now it's time for everybody's favorite boss. Pretty much read as many donations as you see fit. He is an auto-scroller. He does the same thing every time. I'm literally just going to walk around in the room and stand to the spots where I need to be safe, and then hit him 3 times, so feel free.
My favorite boss battle. HSXP donates $5. Hi! Crash 2 is my first 3D game, and it's so cool to see it being run. Will Coco ever get her laptop battery? Stiao donates $20. I hope you get an awesome run and good luck, Sword. GDQ is the best. Mattis Rumming donates $80. Working as a bioinformation in the metagenomics to understand the correlation of microbia and cancer development. Research is the key to fight cancer. Live long and prosper. Rico donates $40. Second time donating this week, and I absolutely had to tune into and donate for Crash 2, my favorite video game ever. I lost my father to pancreatic cancer last July, so I love what you all do to help cancer research. As an aspiring Crash 2 runner, I hope that I can eventually be talented enough to run during an AGDQ as well. Put this $40 to the runner's choice. Yoshidog donates $7.77. Good luck, Sword. Kick some tail. We have an anonymous $100 donation. Best of luck to the PlayStation block. My favorite time of AGDQ and looking forward to Sword, Natty, Mickle, Headstrong, and Zem and the great runs they'll provide. And that's Ripper Roo.
All right. Woo! Hardest part of the run out of the way, so I don't have to worry about that ever again. Okay, now for something a little bit different, spice it up a little bit. Another thing that they carried over from Crash 1, in Crash 1 you have the hog. They basically did the same thing again, but this time with a polar bear, changed the mechanics a little bit. You can charge and you can jump. When you're on the ground and you charge, you're locked into like an animation where he like charges on the floor. You can jump out of the animation and you're free to move again, because at the end of a charge, he pretty much has like a set amount of cooldown. So the fastest way to move in these levels is essentially just to charge, jump, charge, jump, charge, charge, jump. And that's just what I'm going to be doing here. The only really terrifying part of this level are the 3 boxes at the end that are in a somewhat finicky organization. That's not the right word.
They suck.
There,
Yeah.
that's close enough, I guess.
We said a hit on NCSC though.
Yeah, just based on how the bear moves, essentially. So there's a box on the left, a box on the right, and a box on the left again, and the movement's a little bit precise, so fingers crossed. Yeah, didn't think so. So because of the level design, it's essentially you're always moving forward at all times. You can't go back to break boxes, so the only choice you have in these levels is essentially to find somewhere to die and then just be respawned at the check to try again. I do need these crates, so... Okay.
These crates were designed for the beta physics, but the bear got pretty heavily nerfed.
Yeah, it basically moves a lot faster now, and it's harder to like turn.
Yeah. He moves a lot quicker side to side in the beta version, but they probably felt that it was a little bit too easy, so they changed it, but they didn't compensate for the boxes here. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah! Awesome! All right. Okay. Won't see the polar bear for a while. He'll make a reappearance in the next warp room. There's quite a lot of bear action if you do miss the bear. So, but for the time being, I'm going to head back on foot and do some levels. the traditional way. So we've got another backwards platforming level, a boulder chase sequence. Again, there's going to be 2 areas where I need to stand still and wait for the boulder to break boxes for me, because otherwise they won't explode. But other than that, it's just I have the layout of the level memorized, so I know where all of the holes and pits are. It's just a matter of just not having my movement drop in front of a hole or something. If you have any donations, feel free again. I don't have much to say right now.
I have a $9.45 donation from our girl, Farian J. Hi, Sword. Good luck on the run. I believe in you. Remember always to zigzag more. Oh, and to call the scientist skips by their real name. P.S. Shoutouts to the Swagmaster 420. Jack of Brighton donates $5. A chance to donate towards cancer prevention and a Sword of Seals run. Keep up the fine work, GDQ. Grimlios donates $10 and says, wasn't going to donate again, but I'm really enjoying this Crash 2 run. One of my favorite games as a kid. Great commentary by Sword of Seals so far, and good luck on the rest. Sephiroth God donates $75. Got home just as you started. Good luck, Tom. Hope Warp 4 and 5 are good to you. Nice to see you making friends around the world. Goat Puncher Arctic donates $15. Hey, Seal, it's the legend himself, GPA, here to give you a little motivating get good. Also, shoutouts to April for being a rad announcer. My donation goes to killing animals.
Have you,
I haven't covered that, actually. If
Okay.
you want to, go for it.
Yeah, basically sliding against walls makes you go at the same speed as zigzag, but it's constant, so you go fast.
Okay. Except when I didn't actually do it there. Had a bit of a fumble there. There are certain levels in the game where, for whatever reason, if you slide at a wall at a 45-degree angle, it just pushes you forward all the time. It's the 3 plant levels, and then the first 2 boulder chase levels have this property on the wall. We don't really know why, but anything to speed the game up is definitely appreciated. Now, this level also has another colored gem. So I have the red one and the blue one, but this one has the green one. It's going to look a little bit odd, and you may think it's like some kind of unintended glitch where you just somehow like phase through the wall. There's actually just a non-solid wall in this level that if you just jump through, there is a route that you need to complete, and it gives you the green gem at the end of it, and that's down this split. And I think the reason why you feel a bit conspicuous of this room is that there's this room full of these deadly nitro crates, and then there's just one box in the room. The water's on, okay. So the yellow water is electric, and it will damage me, and I will electrocute if I touch it. So it moves on a set pace, though, so it will go on for a set amount of time, turn off, stay off for a bit, and then turn back on. So even while I'm moving around the level and it's not present, so I use that to my advantage to know where it's going to be, so I can time my jumps to get in there or just wait for it, essentially, which I'm going to do here. I do actually need to come into this room to break the box. Even though every level has the nitro detonator at the end, the green box with the yellow exclamation mark that just blows up all those boxes, it only makes them disappear if they're like they haven't been collected yet. So for example, that box there, when I hit the nitro detonator at the end, it basically calls all of the nitro boxes in the level and it just makes them disappear like that. So there's actually no explosion taking place. So that one box wouldn't be broken, so I do need to go in there to get it. I do need to go down the left split first, since there's a crystal there, a bunch of crates, and then I head down the right split. That's where the rest of the level lies. Just gonna wait for this guy. The hangrails are like one of the slowest forms of movement in the game, but there is a section in the late game where we do try to speed it up, and I'll cover that more when it comes to it. Okay. But yeah, just like there, for example, like I had a mask, I didn't actually really need it, so I could just take a hit from an enemy and use that to basically jump through those 2 enemies that were all the way at the top, so I didn't have to stand there and wait for them to go down. Masks are really, really, really useful for that kind of thing. You can basically just avoid having to wait on certain things if you take damage, because you have about, like, I want to say 2 seconds of invincibility whenever you get hit. So this level is Snow Biz. It's the second snow level in the game. You do actually need the red gem from Snowgo, but since I already have that, I can just do this level now. There is another way to get the red gem. It would be in the next level, Air Crash. But this is one of the best routes in the game, I think. Only done in 100%. Loads of boxes up here, so I'm just going to let the route speak for itself. If you have any donations you want to read, feel free.
What a James donates $10. Hey Sword, haven't spoken in a while, but good luck on the run. Smash it for all of us in the community. Also, congrats GDQ for all you guys do. You guys are all awesome. And shout outs to the cool guys on the couch too. And also, we've just had a new bonus game open up, an incentive for lost levels, 2-player, 1 controller, that can be met if we donate $50,000. I think we can do it. Spanky5 says, Spanky here. My 9-year-old Jasmine and 6-year-old Layla always look forward to HDQ and beg me to donate. This is our 5th event we have watched together, and they love all the games and love the commentary. Please put towards commentator choice. My 9-year-old would love to hear the crowd get hype. $10 from Jerome, who says, for all the love of you all and Mr. MV.
Okay, the icicles in that route are things that you normally would have to stand and wait for them to fall down before you pass, but because of the speed of NSS, you can basically just blitz through them. I did stop and wait for the wooden stomper for a bit because I just didn't want to get crushed. Some of the death animations or like the hit stun animations in this game are quite long. You don't really want to have to watch them. Okay. So again, like I said with the masks, just makes it really, really simple. Instead of having to deal with really, really strange ice physics, you can just spin the TNT, take damage, and it will just blow up any box in its area, and you can just carry on. One thing I didn't cover is the ice physics. It's actually the fastest form of movement in the game to just be on ice and just slide or spin. NSS doesn't actually work on ice because your speed is capped at the highest value anyway. So you can just hold forward during the spin and it won't change anything. But there aren't that many levels that do have ice, but the levels that do, we definitely do abuse the fact that when you slide and spin on ice, you just go at ridiculous speeds.
Well, I mean, the whole warp room here has ice around
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
starting.
another thing as well. Yeah, completely forgot about that.
Dude, task strats.
Oh God, don't even go there. Okay, this level is a unique case for this game in the sense that in an 100% speed run, it's the only level that you cannot complete on its first visitation. So I do actually need to come back here at a later point, which is why I'm ignoring pretty much all boxes that you see. I hit the first checkpoint since I will be needing it later. I'm about to pass another checkpoint, but I don't actually want to hit this one. Reason being is because it's a lot faster to do a certain section of platforming in this level, die at the end of it, and then walk back to the check, which I'll explain a little bit more when I get to it. This is a death route platform, or a skull route. It's awarded to you by basically not dying in the level beforehand, so the moment you die in the level, that platform disappears. But because I didn't die, there we go. Because I didn't die, it was there. Normally you would have to stand on those two platforms and wait for them to come up and down. I don't really feel like waiting. So, and if I can get this.
Swag.
There we go.
There we go.
Swag Master Pot's ready.
There's a lack of a ceiling there for whatever reason, so we just nudge ourselves into the wall there, and you can just fall down. It saves a little bit of time as opposed to going backwards to drown in the water, but that's pretty much that level. So what I did in that level was grab the crystal since I need it to progress, and then got the Death Root gem. I can't actually get the box gem right now, so I will basically save it for another time. What I did at the end of the level there, I died at the end. The reason why I only hit the first check is it spawned me right in front of the secret exit. Secret exits make up percentage for the game. There's 5 of them in total, and they're 1% each. That one unlocked the Snowgo secret entrance, so that is the route that you would normally have to do to get the red gem from that level. Since I already have the red gem, there's no reason for me to do it, but I do still need to unlock the exit, which is why I simply go into the level and then exit out back to the warp room. I have 10 crystals, so I just jump on the lift, and head it up the lift, and this is the second boss. The Komodo Bros. The objective is to hit the skinny one into the larger one. The larger one will then throw swords around the room. You can manipulate what he does depending on where you stand and how you move in it around the fight, which is why I'm standing in a specific position. I'm going to let him go to the left and right, and when he passes over me again, I'm going to slide towards the wall, and then he just stops. So yeah, it's basically just like manipulating how he moves depending on what you do. Other than that, yeah, not much to say. So again, feel free to go through with some more donations if you want.
All right, we have an anonymous $100 donation. I love this game so much, I have to donate one of my favorite games as a child. Thank you for playing this game, and good luck, Sword.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh,
Good
That's
enough.
fine, whatever.
Good with the 2 days. It's all good.
All right, so I have a mask. It's pretty useful to take it into this level now. This level also has a colored gem, so it's nice to get this out of the way, since the level to the right of it does need the yellow gem to be able to do a section of the level. And again, this is another plant water level that has a timer challenge. It starts the moment you spawn into the level, but the clock doesn't actually show until you get to the first checkpoint. The clock will reset now because I've died. But basically the objective is to get to the end of the level as quick as I can. It's a little bit more broken than the other level where I broke some of the boxes and then just basically died to get the timer gem and then restarted and did like half of the level over. This level you can pretty much do everything in it up until the final checkpoint, so I'm going to be doing that. They give you quite a bit of time, again, because NSS is an overpowered movement technique. On the waterboard, I also haven't covered. It's essentially you just want to spam the boost button as much as you can. There we go. So the timer's going to disappear, but it's still running. Just imagine the timer being in the bottom right now, and it's still going. So I'm going to try my best to get to the end of the level before the timer hits 0. Again, it still gives you quite a bit of time, quite a bit of leeway. So I'm going to run to the end and grab the yellow gem, but break every box in my path at the moment. Basically, so when I grab the yellow gem, I can turn around, I can drown in the water, and then essentially just redo the very last ending point of the level. So that's the final check of the level. Take damage from these plants, because otherwise I would have to go and kill them. Okay. It doesn't want me to do that. That's fine.
There you go.
So that's the yellow gem. Turn around, drown, and it will just respawn me right at the end, where I just get the last remaining boxes in the level. Okay,
Control back.
Boxes,
naturally.
please.
Every time.
The next level is one of my favorites. It's called Road to Ruin.
It's a good level.
It ruins my life. That's why it's called Road to Ruin. I'm on the road to ruin. It is a very well-made level, but it is actually just a huge difficulty spike in terms of what you have to do. I'd say that the level's broken up into 3 segments. Like there's like 3 jumps that you have to do. Normally what you would need to do in this level is that you would need to re-enter it at a later point, because there's a section to the left that has a bunch of boxes that you're not supposed to get to. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Amazing.
Nice. That went really well.
So that's the cycle skip. So yeah, normally you're meant to come into this level at a much later point and it spawns you out at that route, and then you break the 32 and then do the level normally. Again, there's another skull route there. It would normally take you to a side section of the level that has a bunch of platforming in it, jumping over a bunch of logs and platforms and rotating pillars, but I'm not too interested.
Nice.
There and back.
Since you can just grab the gem by essentially abusing the glitch high jump and jumping over there. Another thing that I haven't covered is zigzag. It's a movement that's common in a lot of games. It's in Crash 1, it's in this game as well. Basically, whenever you jump, you can alternate directions, and if you alternate to the diagonal corners, you'll get quite an increase in like altitude of distance and speed. So we use that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I had. I thought I would get everything, but yeah, I'll do it the safe way, I guess. A bit of a bad death because you have to watch the bonus platform, but there you go. But yeah, the level's split into 3 parts. You've got the opening jump sections where you have to get around the cycles and whatnot. You've got the jump to skip the gem, the platforming section, and then you've got this jump in here. Normally you'd have to hit the metal crates and it would spawn another one and then another one. There's like a little puzzle and it spawns the bridge, but you can just jump straight across the hole and just clear it in one go. The downside to that death, though, is I don't have any masks now. The next level is heavily dependent on masks, like damage abusing with masks to get around enemies and whatnot. Should be fine, though. Okay. I've had much worse, so I'm really happy with that. Okay, so now that I have the yellow gem from plant food, I'm going to head to the level that has the yellow gem route, essentially. I haven't even spoken about this. There's a plot in this game. Can you believe it? There's cutscenes that appear in the warp room after you beat certain requirements, like when you get 1 crystal, 3 crystals, 5 crystals when you beat a boss. I'm not really interested in the crash lore, to be fair, so I just ignore it. You can skip it by like jumping, spinning, and dismissing the cutscene.
What?
Hitboxes are great.
Yeah.
I love them. I love these guys. If I had the mask from the previous level, I would have just like walked straight past this dude, but maybe I can... Yeah, okay,
There
cool.
you go.
Decent backup, I guess. You can use enemies to snipe boxes, snipe other enemies, stuff like that. So that's a nice thing. The hitboxes in this game don't really line up, so it can be a bit difficult to get like snipes with enemies and whatnot, but you can do it. This is the yellow gem route. Oh,
That'll work.
oh God. Jeez. Please do not sink on me. Okay, fine. There's the gem.
Oh.
I don't want it though. I'd rather... It's right there. Oh well. Let's try again. All I need in this route is the gem. There's no boxes down here. Okay. Deja vu a little bit. Maybe really, really safe. There we go. And just die here. Okay. I spawn with a mask because there's a mask on top of the checkpoint, which I hit the checkpoint first so the mask would land on my head. You can skip that guy, but I got hit by the fan blade, so I didn't really want to take my chances. If you were to skip that guy, you could take the mask in here to damage the nitros and clear things up a little bit faster, but there are other cool skips that I can attempt. As I mentioned before, hitboxes are very, very strange. You can actually like land in the middle of a fan blade and walk through all of them while they're spinning and not take any damage. Okay. So that's what I'm going to try up here. So I'm going to line myself up to the left and then walk down the middle, and hopefully if everything goes right, I can just jump down the middle. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's 1. And if I use this vacuum cleaner enemy to spin and then jump, that's 2.
Nice.
So there you go. So I now have 2 masks, which is really, really nice. You've got these enemies at the end. I can just basically take damage and not have to wait on any of them. Yeah, this is one of the few levels where masks play quite an important factor, along with another level later on. You get another mask down this route, and there's 2 more flamethrower enemies that I can just get around.
Nice.
Of course.
Their AI is a little bit weird. You can trick them into thinking that you're in a place where you're not, and they're a little bit slower, so you can get around them. I have a mask, but it's useless. It's just going to disappear now. So the next level is a backwards chase level. Instead of a boulder chasing me, there is an angry giant polar bear.
It's a mama bear.
It's a mama bear. I think she's angry that we kidnapped her younger polar bear that's at the end of the level here. But I don't have much to say up until the secret route, so if you want to read a few donations, feel free.
We have a $1,000 donation from the William Jacob 248.
Wow.
Greetings from Okinawa, Japan. So glad to be watching AGDQ with my 2 best friends, especially the PlayStation 2 block. Cancer has impacted my life so much, and I am so willing to help to try to prevent that pain and cancer entirely. Shout out to all the speedrunners, commentators, the couch, announcers, setup crew, and everyone that puts this amazing work of art together. The GDQs are the best 2 weeks out of the years. Put 500 of this to the Dark Souls 3 glitch exhibition and the other 500 to kill those animals, and always save the frames.
All right.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So what I did there was I died at the end of that long straight section because normally the giant polar bear that chases you would break the bridge for you, but it simply takes too long. So if you just grab the check and then fall down the hole, the game assumes that the bear's broken the bridge. So I used that to enter this area. Again, another really cool area that has nothing but boxes in it that you would only see in 100%. No bullet, that's fine. Cool. All right. This bonus gets completely like broken. You're normally meant to go along the bottom and then go wrap around and do it on the top, but you can just jump up there and then fall down there by accident, and it doesn't matter, but it's fine. Take damage there since the level is going to make me lose my mask anyway, since it doesn't actually allow you to have masks in these levels. Another thing I didn't mention with the route is that whenever you enter like a boulder chase level, it will just reset your mask count to 0. I imagine for the purpose of not allowing you to like fall behind the bear and take damage or something like that.
Crash 1, it's a death animation, so you can bring your masks in.
All right, okay.
So it's just what they decided to do.
And here's a polar bear chase with a polar bear. Something that doesn't feel like it was meant to be here, since there's just all this weird ceiling and scenery stuff going on. I'm just going to stay on the ground. I feel like this was added last minute because it doesn't feel right, but it's just a bunch of fences here. And hopefully... No, okay, whatever. Oh my god. There's a thing that I like to do where I jump up on the scenery and just stay out of the way of the camera, just because I really don't like the fences. I find the fences to be really like a problem. This section of the game just lags so hard. There, no, okay.
That'll work.
There's another secret exit in this level, so there is a gem that I go and collect. That's the box gem. Turn myself around and head backwards. Our polar bear friend from earlier is waiting for us, and he has a level that we can do. So I just stand by him, you just get warped. That's an extra % to the counter, and you unlock Totally Bear, which is another level that you would only ever see in 100%. There are 2 levels in this game that only have a box gem, and that would be this one and a level later called Totally Fly. The only purpose of doing these levels is to get the gem in them, so this level only has a box gem. It's a polar bear level in the dark, but I know where all the holes are, I know where all the ice pits are, I know where the boxes are, so it's essentially just pretty much an auto-scroller for the most part. And this starts the bear section of the run, so there's quite a lot of bear levels, so again, if you just want to plow through donations, feel absolutely free.
We have $10 from Delphionic. Hey Tom, great run so far. Glad you could make it to AGDQ and show why you're many people's favorite streamer. Keep up the great work. And seemingly accompanying it, $10 from Aspirte. Keep up the great work, guys. Just keep being you. Props to Tom for his excellent display of this game, and shoutouts to the Splash Boys on the couch, at the venue, and watching at home. You guys are awesome. We have $20 from Tuckerov. While I'm poor right now, I have to donate for one of my favorite runners playing one of my favorite speed games. Good luck, Tom. May your frustrations pay off and the warps have mercy. P.S. Hi, April. Hi. $75 from C.A. Kirby. Seriously, I'm so excited for the next 6 games or so, starting with the first game I ever completed 100% with Crash 2. This run is actually making me want to speedrun this game. Thanks you guys for such an amazing event for such a great cause.
You don't want to speedrun this.
No.
It's really, really fun, right? It's a great game. Like, when you put the time in, it's fantastic. But once you start to invest a lot of time into it, it becomes very, very difficult. It's essentially like having, like, a boxing match with the inputs, trying to get, like, the spins and the slides to come out. But, yeah.
The issue is that the PAL version is at 25 FPS.
Yeah. So because you play on the European version, which is 5 frames slower, again, that's like 5 less frames for your inputs to be recognized. And deaths in this game can be pretty bad, and a lot of them will be essentially like you press spin and it wasn't able to register it. But no,
It's
definitely
got a lot
great
of collision
game.
detection and stuff that's trying to compress in the...
Sorry about that. Sorry. This level also has a secret exit involved as well, it's right at the very end. It's probably the easiest one to spot, to be honest, because you get sent over a pit as a launch, and you see like a platform just idling there with a bunch of platforms leading up to it. And if you just essentially just jump to it, you get warped to another level, and that's probably the first one you're supposed to find. But you'll see it here. It's just curiosity makes you want to go back and find out what it is, and then that's how you find that one. So again, turn around. Okay. And that is the secret exit for Bear Down, and it gives you the secret entrance to Air Crash, which is the level from earlier that I was unable to complete in one sitting. Reason being is because it spawns you in an entirely new section of the route that you can only access after doing that secret exit, essentially. And the Nitro Detonator is in here as well, which I do need. I already have the Death Root Gem from this level, so I'm basically just going to go on a box spree and just break all the boxes, grab the box gem, and head on out. This level's got a lot going on, so it likes to drop inputs and it likes to lag. You'll probably notice that some of the sounds are coming out way later than usual as well.
That spot in particular, when it's just like reloading the level,
Oh, right, yeah.
it's just always bad.
Okay. Pretty simple bonus here, but because it's a Warp 2 level. Normally spawns this bridge, but I don't really need it. I just need to break these. Oh my goodness. So again, with the lack of frames, sometimes inputs just don't come out. I did press jump there. It just didn't happen, but I'll just do it again, I guess. So there's a section at the end of the level where you're normally meant to go forward on foot. I'm just going to wait. Yeah. You'd normally go forward on foot, break 4 crates, and then backtrack. You can actually just do it on the waterboard, as long as I have this mask. Okay, that's fine. So normally you jump across that platform there to get to this section here, but I can just damage off of the mine here to grab these 4, and that just saves a hell of a lot more than having to, you know, do a lot of manual backtracking. I'm going to wait here. I don't know where this is going to be. Yeah. Normally I'd just go for it, but I don't have a mask, and having to redo that without a mask just wastes a lot of time, so. Doesn't want to leave half of these levels. Right, so that's all of Warp 1, 2, and 3 done now. So I've collected everything up until this point. We've got the Warp 3 boss, which is Tiny Tiger.
Hardest boss?
Hardest boss. It's a bit of a recurring joke that it's the hardest boss in the run. He is slightly RNG. I don't like throwing the term RNG around loosely, but basically how the fight is structured is that he has a set amount of jumps, and then these platforms will flash red, and they will fall. You need to get him to fall, but then you need to not fall yourself. The platforms that can fall are slightly RNG, but if you do the same thing in the fight every time, the platforms that can fall are like set out of a set amount of configurations. So I basically jump around the arena at the same time, and I react on instinct as to what's falling. With each phase, less platforms fall for him to fall, and then once he's fallen, there's less platforms to stand on. Hopefully it's not a corner one. Okay, that's perfect,
nice.
Actually. There we go. And then just jump my way back. There we go. That's that. Hardest boss. What's coming up next is pretty much my favorite warp of the run, Warp 4. It's where all of the levels just have so much going on in them. The movement in the levels just feels really, really nice to do. I'm going to head straight over to this level first, which is the counterpart to Road to Ruin. So if you remember that level, you'll know how this one will be themed as well. The green gem that I grabbed from the eel deal plays a little bit of relevance in here, since there is like a route that we call the green gem route. but I don't actually need the green gem. It will be floating on the left, and it doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than to just carry me over the jump itself, but I can just jump into there myself. I'm going to die on purpose here because there's things going on in this route that I want to know where they are. So the game is cycle-based, like this monkey throwing a log, these flames that are going to come up, they are all moving in synchronization with each other. Whenever you die in this game, it resets everything to a set default. I know what the set default is on this level, so I know where everything's going to be, so I'm not going to die to anything like out of surprise. But this section literally just has a gem at the end. You, just run to the end and grab the gem. But once I have the gem, there's more level that I need to do. So I'm just going to death abuse and be sent back to the check and carry on from there. And that went really, really well. Dying in there is really, really bad. Really bad. It's one of the more costly deaths. This level is really, really nice when it goes right, but the deaths are just so bad when they do happen. This bonus in particular. They were very, very proud of how they manufactured the level, so the platform takes ages to get here. Basically body slam those crates. So I can bounce off of the TNTs and then hold jump to get more height, and then just body slam these to break these so I don't have to wait for the TNTs to go. There we go. Okay. Almost done. Almost. Terrifying part of the level. Most of the level's boxes are stored in the bonus on this one. There's barely any in the main level, so I know where everything's going to be now. I'm going to try my best to see if I can catch a cycle of some description. You've got these moving pillars upcoming as well that you would normally have to wait on, but I don't like waiting.
Oh,
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. I was about to say, I've never had a level go this well before, but there you go. The game knew I was thinking it, so it wanted to prove me wrong, and I admire that. Right, so other than that, that was pretty good, so I'm not even going to complain about it. It's fine. It would have been really, really nice if I didn't die there, since I would have been able to carry on my normal route. This is the part of the run where you actually want to take 2 masks out of a level. There is a level in this warp room where having 3rd mask form is actually beneficial. Since I didn't leave that level with 2 masks, I'm going to head into this one. It's nice to have the extra mask here because the opening of the level has so many enemies and things that could essentially end you, I guess. It's a B level. Haven't really covered that. Normally you would dig in the ground like that to avoid the bees. It's quite slow though, so we avoid doing it at all costs. So if you do slide spins on the actual, I don't even know what this texture is, beehive material, you can just basically blitz through and not have to worry about the bees. I have masks again. It's nice to come in here to have a mask just in case something like that does happen. The level gives you a mask of its own, which is why I still have one right now. But yeah, things can go wrong at the opening here, which is nice to have that extra backup.
that was a pretty suspicious tower of nitros back there.
Yeah, you may have noticed that there was like a very ominous looking tower of nitros that just weren't moving. They were completely stationary. I wonder what's that. Let's go check it out. Oh, what? Oh my. Where's this? Wow, this area looks interesting. Oh, wow, let's go explore it.
Oh, it's
No, I
kinda
changed my
boring,
mind.
just-
Let's go back. The game keeps track of any items that you keep, so whenever you grab an item, it's essentially yours. Even when you game over, it carries out onto the save file. The only way to lose it is basically to just quit the game, and since that section just has a bunch of deadly traps, I just needed to grab the gem and then head on my way out. It would have been nice to have a mask in this bonus, since they put a lot of explosives in here, and I'm having a lot of fun with them right now.
That was an odd noise.
That sound.
No. How about we go on a casual stroll?
Wampa strat?
Yeah,
We need the
all
fruit.
Wampas.
I've died too many times.
Dude, you can always Wampa dupe.
So, this game has a glitch where you can dupe items, essentially. And my good friend on the couch, Kane, finds it to be most fitting to use the dupe to dupe fruit so you can get more
No,
lives.
no, no. This is a different dupe.
Is
If you
this?
just pause when a Wampa is going from the bonus counter to your normal counter, there's like a frame that you can pause it, and it progresses, and it adds it to it. But then you can repause instantly, and it's still there.
So if you ever need more fruit for your 5 a day, talk to this man. He'll help you
Frame
out.
perfect pausing.
At the end of that level there, basically, instead of having to dig to wait for the bees to fly around and potentially sting me, I just time my movement really, really nicely so that I can just land on the detonator and then just jump to the end. Ideally, you don't want to have to wait for bees at any point, and you definitely don't want to dig. I did want to dig that one time to show you what digging looked like, though, which is why I did it. It wasn't a mistake, I promise. So from a casual perspective, this is by far the most confusing level in the game. And the reason being is because the intended way of beating this level is just ridiculous. It's evil. Like, shame on you, Naughty Dog, for having such an evil requirement to beat this level. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it. You may have noticed that I ignored the checkpoint. That was entirely intentional. I don't actually want it right now. I'm going to be doing a box dupe. I don't know why it's called that, but it pretty much fits the description, I guess.
I mean, it's a duplication.
Yeah. So I need to come all the way out here and stand on this platform so that it doesn't disappear when I die, since I will be dying for this trick. I'm going to come in here, off-screen the platform so I can board it on the way down. Now that route is locked. If I die at any point, it will be there, and I do need it to complete the level. But I've got everything that I want.
Oh.
Oh.
That's pretty bad.
You didn't hit a checkpoint?
No, I didn't.
So.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just do that again, I guess.
Yeah.
The platform's still there, so I don't actually need to re-enter the level, but I'm going to break everything in my path again.
Yeah.
I just won't do
one
that next
less
time.
box.
Yeah. Gives me a bit more time to explain it. So basically, the intended way of doing this level is that you would break every box that you see, go into that platform that I stood on, do the entire thing forwards, grab, hit one box that spawns a box at the beginning, do the entire thing backwards, and then do the remainder of the level. And it's just so difficult that it's just not worth doing. It's also slightly faster to do it like this. I do need these 2 boxes as well, though. I've already stood on that, so it's fine. I'm just going to do this, I guess. There we go.
Just had to zigzag more, right?
Yeah.
Zigzag less, that's why I died.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so I have everything that I want now. I'm going to head into the bonus and break everything that I see. There's a hidden box up there. Again, evil level design. That's fine. Don't need the mask anyway. So there's 31 boxes in here. While it's adding boxes from the box count from the bonus, I'm going to die. And it's still adding boxes from the bonus count into the main level count. Because it's doing that, it can't multitask, so it's unable to deduct the 40 boxes from the start of the level that I did break. So because of that, I have a hugely inflated box count. Like, I shouldn't have 90 boxes at this point, but I do. If I die at any point now, the game will remember the fact that I shouldn't have that many, and it will do the deduction for me, and basically make things very, very difficult. But if you hit a checkpoint, like so, it stores it. So I now have 94 boxes, far more than I should have, and I can essentially use that to skip about a third of the level. Instead of having to do that entire section forwards and backwards, I only need to do it forwards now.
Nice.
For good measure. Yeah. Right, so I do actually need 2 masks out of this level. That's the reason I came in here. So I'm going to take a little bit of a detour to hopefully get that one. So I do actually want to show the mask strat in the next level.
As you might remember Tom saying, or Sword saying earlier, mask form is really slow, but there is one instance where it's not that slow.
Okay, whatever. We'll go back here. Okay, so I came all the way back there and basically pushed myself against the wall because I'm now in like a 3D range. So I don't have to worry about any of this. Grab the gem, head my way down. Normally you'd have to hit that metal box and head back, but because I have more boxes than I should have at this point, I can just fall down the hole and finish the level.
Really?
Okay, I forgot about that. It doesn't like me doing that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Much more stylish that
Yeah,
way.
I have a lot of boxes, but I don't have enough to skip that many. Another thing to mention is that I need the exact amount of boxes that the level has, which is 154. So I'm going to ignore those two. 155, sorry. So I'm going to ignore those two there. I can't count, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. So if you had more than 155 there, it would say 156 out of 155, and you wouldn't be able to get the gem. The reason why I believe it is that way is because of the blue gem in Turtlewoods, where it specifically looks for you having 0 boxes. So you do have to keep an eye on your box count, but since I've done the level so many times, I just know exactly how many I should have, really. So yeah, that's pretty much the hardest level out of the way in that sense. But now I have 2 masks, which is what I wanted from the first level of this warp room. I'm going to wait for that guy so I don't lose any. And basically going to try to keep the 2 masks as long as possible here. I'm going to even just walk it here. I don't trust anything at all.
I mean, Dustiel did tell you to walk more.
He did. More slow hang rails, but if all goes to plan, you won't see too many more slow hang rails in the near future. Potentially, maybe, possibly. There we go, okay. So, this is what happens when you get 3 masks at once. So short-term invincibility, it attaches the mask to your face, but the best part is that it allows you to move really, really fast on the monkey bars here. So I don't have to wait for any enemies, I can break boxes on here. But slide spinning does not work in this form of movement, so we basically just walk. That's fine, and there we go. So that's everything there. I don't really like the look of that crystal, so I'm going to ignore it for now. But I'm going to head into the bonus and break everything in here. Kind of terrifying, since a lot of it is over a bottomless void.
Nice.
Not what I was going for, but sure, why not?
If you get under steel crates, they just
Yeah.
break on your head.
Yeah, Cressa said it's very sturdy.
All right. Another level with a secret exit. So grab to the end, take the damage here. I'll say hello to you as well.
Oh, damn.
Zigzag more. Lesson of the day. And then there you go. So I grab the box gem, turn around. I'm interested in the crystal now, so I'm going to grab it now and then head down here. And there's actually a move in this game that you would only ever use here, and it's basically the leg hunch or the leg pull, where you pull your legs up. The enemies here are a little bit lower hanging than usual, but essentially if you just get to the end here, and that is your secret exit for hanging out, and that unlocks Totally Fly. So you may remember me mentioning this level earlier. Again, it only has a box gem, so I do need to break every box in here. It's a little bit different from most levels, you'll notice. It's very, very dark. There are fireflies scattered throughout the level. If you just walk into one, it will pick up. They are on a timer, but because of the movement, they're never really going to run out in time. So I'm just running through here. I need that, though. Oh my god. Right. A lot of this game is muscle memory. Like, once you play it for a long period of time, it's more like slide, spin, slide, spin. You know where they're going to end up, where they're going to stop. So if you press like a button, like you press slide and it doesn't happen, it can throw you off quite a bit, and you've got a bit of like on-the-fly reaction that you need to do. Sometimes I'm a little bit too slow to be able to do it. But yeah, this level's just there's just so many places you can fall down a hole here. The enemies here are quite threatening, but if you're in a slide or a spin, they can't actually hurt you, so I'm going to try and abuse that as much as possible.
Very nice.
There we go. This Firefly is unlike any other Firefly in the game. He moves at his own pace, but he's a bit too slow for my liking, so I'm just going to do this in the dark since I know where everything is. He's chilling back there, so he's fine. And that's that. And now for my favorite Firefly. I like to call him Sparky. He's a little bit impatient. He doesn't really like me very much. He doesn't hang around too long. So I'm going to head forward here and break a few of the body slam crates, and then I'm going to say hello, and we're going to go on a little adventure. It's a really nasty trick that Naughty Dog played, where they give you 6 body slam boxes that take ages to break. but the Firefly only lasts for about 10 seconds, and then he disappears. So you'd have to do that section there in the dark, and you wouldn't know where any of the holes are. I do know roughly where the holes are, but I don't trust myself enough to be able to do it. So I break half of them and then head back and then do the rest, just so that when he flies by, I know where the holes are. All right, we're doing digging it now. Cool, okay. So this is actually my favorite level in the run. It's another B level. Unlike bee having where 5 bees come out of the hives at once, only 1 comes out at a time, so that's not the real threat. The real threat is everything else. You've got these piranha plant-esque enemies that basically spit bombs on the daily, trying to kill you. Try my best to not allow that to happen. Moving tiki heads, mines on the floor that sends you into holes or into awkward spots. But it's pretty nice so far. This level does have a death route, but if I do die, it's not to worry. I can get in and out of the death route without the platform, so it's fine. The box duplication glitch that I mentioned on Cold Hard Crash is actually possible on this level, but if you go for it, there is actually like there's a bit of a constraint. So when you die down holes, you may have noticed that my shoes sometimes fly up in the air. It isn't random, but it is, I want to say. If you die during, if you try to do the box dupe here and then you die and you get the shoe animation, you actually don't die quick enough to be able to do it. And I've had so many runs just go and just not be able to be completed because of that. And I much prefer to do the level without the dupe anyway. But it is a thing. You would go forward, break a few boxes, head back, and it would skip having to go into this route here. Not over yet. Hold on. There we go. Now you can clap. Platform is like a very slow-moving bus that you have to wait in the rain for an hour for.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Not
Okay.
over yet.
Do I want to do that again?
Run it back.
No, I'm going to do something a little bit interesting, I think.
It's
So you've
gonna
seen
do the
that.
whole
I'll
thing
do the
backwards.
alternative, I guess.
Yeah.
But those 2 boxes in that route are the reason that you go in and out of that route is because there's just a lot of nothing in the middle of that route, other than a bunch of enemies' holes, which I will show you now, since I normally would need to go back in there again, since I didn't actually checkpoint the fact I broke them. But I'm feeling a little bit adventurous today, so
Nice.
yeah, like if you press slide and spin and the slide doesn't come out, but the spin does, the game just recognizes that as a spin input, so you just spin on the ground, and that's basically the input for a dig. So I need to remind myself that there are actually 2 boxes at the start that I need to break here. So this is the death route. You can enter it backwards. That's the death route gem. I'll leave it there. I'll collect it when I feel like I've deserved to collect it. So these are the 2 boxes from before. As you can see, there's just so much going on in this route that just has no relevance or interest. So that's why we basically just jump in the front and then...
Oh, I see.
Goodness. There's so much scenery in these routes that are just really, really fatal to get stuck on. It's fine though.
At least we get to hear the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to hear the good music.
Usually they don't last this long.
Yeah. Should be fine this time though. Oh yeah, whenever you're spinning, the bombs can't hurt you. That's another thing that's quite important to note, so I do use that a lot. If you spin or you slide anywhere where the piranha plants are like spitting bombs, you should be fine. Oh my god. Okay. Just need to get out of here without dying and then we're good to go. What are you going to be doing? Okay, that works. That works for me. All right.
There you go.
Freedom. So this is the last level in the game that has a secret exit. It's the final 1% that I need. So I'm going to go all the way to the end, grab the box gem, avoid that guy. I don't like him. He's a bit too aggressive. But I changed my mind. I like him now. He's going to hit me with his hammer, rip crash in a gravestone. And it will respawn me here. this enemy here that's sitting on a very weird-looking circular platform in the middle of a hole. If I just body slam him and he dies, it gives me the secret entrance to Road to Ruin. But you probably recognize the name of that level. I've already done that level, and I've already got everything in it, so I don't actually need to go in there. So what I'm going to do to save on time is basically head into Totally Fly again. But again, I have everything in there, so the moment it loads up, I'm just going to pause and warp out. It will spit me out of Hanging Out, which was the level in this warp room, so all I have to do now is stand forward and go up to the 4th boss, since I have everything in here as well. I'm sure a lot of people that have played this game will remember this boss. It is quite iconic in that sense. You can take care of his arms before he even gets a chance to fire them, which is what I'm going to do there. Breaking them both at the same time is a little bit faster as opposed to breaking them one by one, because he does this animation where he's like curses, like he's quite angry at you. Same with the shoulders as well. They take 5 hits each. The arms take 10 hits each, the shoulders take 5 hits each, so I'm just basically counting. Take them out at the same time. And then the last phase, he dips under the platform and tries to zap you with his his ray here.
Nice.
Okay. Normally, you would hit him a few times. He would melt the platform. You'd move out of the way. He'd drop under. Then he'd rise at another platform. But if you time it well enough, you can actually just take care of everything all in one go there. Now we're in the scariest part of the run, Warp 5, my favorite. I'm not going to be saying too much here, so I'm going to let my friends on the couch basically explain this level while I focus. So,
right, in this level, you basically have to get through it without dying, because there's a death route that we've seen in plenty of other levels up till now. And you kind of have to get all the boxes in the main part of the level just so that you can get to the death route. And that can be very, very scary.
Yeah, you gotta double back, go down the main route, then reverse. So
The only reason we have to do that is because there's an extra gem you can get in the death route, so we just want to get everything in one pass. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the death route, but we're just gonna go right past it instead.
he's got mass. So.
yeah, I have a mask, so it's fine. I'm just going to wait, just so I know where things are. Where's this guy going to be? Okay.
Yeah, everything in this level is on a cycle, essentially, so falling a little bit behind the cycles can be very crucial, because then we won't really know where stuff is. But it's not too bad right now.
The only safe part of this level is the bonus. You can die in the bonus at any point, but everywhere else, if you die, it's a re-entry. I'd have to leave and redo the level, essentially. So I'm safe for now. Take care of the nitro, since it just makes this so much easier. Okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
So because I got zapped by the last possible enemy that could be a fault, as long as I don't fall down these holes, I should be fine. Yeah, there you go. He's gone, though. So jump back there, stand on that. I am now safe. Safe from any further harm. I can finish the level without having to re-enter it, which is basically the main thing that's good about this. I'm going to jump around this since I know where things are going to be. This is
a lot
the
of
death
3D
fruit.
ranges in this level.
Yeah.
Just sliding on top of a wall. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Victory body slam.
Yeah.
Victory. Very nice level.
So there was an enemy there that had a shield that was going, and he was pushing. Essentially, if you wait for him to push, you can actually jump off the top of his head. The top of the wall is solid, and you can just use that to basically skip most of the platforming there, and just slide spin, essentially, instead of having to jump over like nitros and enemies and stuff. And all of the enemies move in a set cycle, so I know what they're doing, so I can go for some pretty crazy jumps. This level has an interesting route at the start, which is basically the 5 gem route. So the 5 colored gems that I picked up along my playthrough all come into like fruition here. I die at the start on purpose, just again, so that I know where all of the enemies, the pistons, everything's going to be, so that nothing surprises me and I won't die unexpectedly, essentially. I'm going to see if I can surprise this guy, though. There we go. Jump around him. So all of the colored gems that I've collected across the course of the run all act as platforms in this route, and for your troubles, you get a gem here. But there is more to the level that I need to do, so once I've grabbed the gem, I die, just to send myself back to the start. And there are some cycles that I'm going to try to catch. Don't do that to me.
This game.
Oh,
Oh, there's a
okay,
checkpoint
that's fine.
right there.
Yeah, that was interesting. I wanted to see what it did.
I wonder what this glowing red thing does.
Oh dear. I don't like waiting, so I'm just going to break the boxes slightly to the side so that I don't get held back, and I can just make all of these piston cycles without having to worry.
Interesting.
Okay, sure. Bit of a bottomless pit there, so yeah, didn't want to die there, but it's all good now. So the rest of the level is literally just enemy spam. They, I guess, felt they wanted to throw like a final barricade of challenge at you. I'm just going to jump over. Kill him, do that, and that's that. So those are 2 of the most terrifying levels in the game, purely because dying is such a hard thing to avoid. But they are done. They went quite well. I'm okay with that. That's fine. All right. I need to decide how I'm going to do this. I'm not going into this level. I'm going to save that for last, but I'm going to head into here, I think. So you may remember Totally Fly, the level that's in the dark with the fireflies. This is another level of that nature. It has a death route, but it's not even relevant. We enter the death route from the back exit, so if I do die, it's not a problem, other than the fact that deaths are quite painful here. They do waste a lot of time. There's not that many checkpoints. Feel free to read some donations, by the way. Been slacking on that.
Okie doke. We have $100 from Original Perry. Hello and good luck. Crash is my second favorite game to watch speedruns of, behind Spyro. $200 from an anonymous donor. I say 100% means saving the animals. Also, Pluto is a planet and it's pronounced avoision. $15 from Unseen Book. Crash Bandicoot is still my favorite game ever. Awesome to see it run. It is actually way harder than it looks, just like getting rid of cancer. Filmic Andy donates $10 and says, having an absolute bandahoot with the PlayStation block. Great job, everyone, and good luck.
So there's a split in the path here. I'm going to head up it backwards. I know where the holes are and the enemies and whatnot. It's all down to just basic muscle memory movement at this point. I'm going to try and grab the firefly on my way there, though. Yeah, okay. So I will have to do some of this in the dark, but it is the easier portion of it that I will have to do in the dark. I just sniped a camera enemy there, so he's not in the way. But this is the death route. It essentially only has a gem. You normally do it forwards and go to that point and then leave, but since there's 2 boxes on the exit, nothing at the start and just a gem in the middle, it's better to just get to the middle, grab the gem, and then head on the way out. The firefly will run out here, but all there really is a hole here. And then there's light again, and that's the final part of the level. Yeah, the last checkpoint's really close to the end for some reason. I'm not not doing that. Okay. So the last part of the run is essentially 2 jetpack levels. It's a mechanic that they use on like the title screen and whatnot. It was something that they advertised in like the promo and whatnot. It's just the mechanics are a bit strange. Instead of being on foot, you basically ride a jetpack. You go up and down, break boxes. There's anti-gravity. They're quite short levels though, so this one's pretty chill. If you just want to read some donations on this one, there is something important to note about the next level. So I'm going to show you this one first. You'll notice that something's going to be very, very different about the one after this one. But again, feel free to read some more donations if you have any.
I have plenty. Corey B donates $75. Thank you so much for bringing these blasts from the past back to me. I was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma last year, and you guys do amazing things. Keep up the great work, oogity boogity. $5 from Flares. I figured I'd make my first donation during the PlayStation block, as these were the games I grew up with. That aside, kill the animals. $5 from an anonymous donor. Sword, I can't even find my socks in the dark. How do you destroy that bonus in the dark? Incredible run so far. $80 from Mamoke. Thanks for an amazing GDQ to the staff and the runners, and let's keep the fight going. Donation incentive is announcer's choice. $100 from Optical Zero. Been watching AGDQ for 3 years now, but first time donating for my favorite childhood game. Can't wait for all of the rest of the games to be run.
All right. So that's that level on the jetpack. So that's normally how you would do the level. You'd float around the level, breaking boxes with the anti-gravity, and just get to the end. We discovered something quite recently. I say recent, it was about a year ago. We've known that we could do this for a while, but it's only really been properly like developed and added on to something that we do in runs as of like the midpoint of last year. So hopefully everything goes to plan. Okay, well that's that. So I'm going to be doing like a very specific trick at the start that requires like a really tight slide spin chain. That wasn't it. I basically started walking in the middle of it, so I'm just going to leave and try again. Hopefully everything goes correct here though. There we go.
Nice.
So this is not the intended way on how you're meant to play this level, as you saw in the previous one. It's kind of terrifying in the sense that these scientists will freeze the game if I touch them when the electricity is going, and the wires will freeze the game as well. But because I had a bit of a finicky movement error there, I just waited. Okay. This is actually faster though. It saves about 15 to 20 because it skips a bunch of animations. And there's this really, really cool thing at the end as well that saves quite a bit of time. Okay, I'm going to wait for it. I'm not going.
And there we go.
Have you ever been unable to just feel your heartbeat? It's that right now. Okay, so the final boss of this game is really anticlimactic. It's a bit of a letdown. You basically just follow Cortex down the tunnel and hit him 3 times, and then that's pretty much the end of the run. I will explain what happened in that jetpack level during the end credits, though. So give me a moment. Be ready on time. I will just say it when it comes. Time. Okay, so in that jetpack level where I played it on foot, basically there's a huge invisible wall. If you do a really tightly timed slide spin, you just go through the wall. You can break all the boxes as normal. The reason why the warp at the end of the level happened is essentially the game is based around its camera, so it loads levels in chunks. When you get to that end part of the level, it knows that you're on foot and assumes you should be on foot at the end, so it just froze you at the end. So I stood there, turned around to sort the camera out so that the camera could recognize where I was, grabbed the crystal, landed at the end, and that was that, essentially. But that's Crash Bandicoot 2. You get the any percent credits first because the game doesn't actually recognize that I have 100%, but Cortex is the final 3% of the game, so at the end of this credits reel, I can pause the game and it will show that I have 100. You don't get too much for 100% in this game in terms of like an achievement. You just get the true end cutscene that leads into the next game, Crash Warped, but it's just so much fun. I'll give a couple of shout outs. Everybody on the couch as well, thank you again for all of your help. All of the Spyro and Crash people at AGDQ, you're all amazing. It's been wonderful to hang around with you guys. All of those watching at home as well that couldn't make it here, like shout outs to Ferian, she was meant to run but she couldn't. Shout outs to Dusteel, shout outs to Mr. Bean as well, my true inspiration for running the game from the start. We go way back. Sam as well. Yeah, and people at my work in the UK who might be watching this right now as well. Shout outs to you guys as well. But yeah, that's Crash Bandicoot 2 done in 100%. Can I find out the time if that's all right?
1 hour, 20 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Could have been better, could have been worse. It is what it is. There you go. You get what you get. So.
All right, so one last question.
Yes.
Did you know they're making a remastered of this?
They are making a remaster of this game, yes. It's called the Insane Trilogy. You may have heard it. It only has showed footage from the first game at the moment, but there's like footage of like relics that you can do in the level. They've got like a functioning pause menu with all the items showing for Crash 1, updated physics engine, but it's very inspired by the original. So if you haven't heard about it, definitely give it a look. I don't know how the Insane Trilogy is going to end out as in terms of a speedrun, since I imagine a lot of the tech that is in Crash to 100% won't actually be in the remaster because it's a complete workup from the ground. This is the cutscene that you get for beating the game. You basically get Embryo. The plot of the game is basically Cortex kidnaps you and tells you that the Earth is in danger, and the only way to save the Earth is if you collect the 25 crystals. This guy shows up when you collect your first gem to tell you that Cortex is a liar, and that you need to collect gems instead so that he can destroy his spaceship in the sky because he's going to plan to use it to turn everyone into his slaves, which is what he's saying right now. I'm just going to go out on the lift. No, yeah, completely natural, casual, there you go. So this is the end cutscene that you get for 100%. There's no music playing because I did the walking while talking, but I didn't actually dismiss his cutscene. And I went up while the cutscene was still playing. But you do get the end credits, and this just leads up into the next game, essentially.
We are ready, Crash. Would you like to do the honors?
I like how he was already on the button.
Yeah.
He just jumps up. I like Coco's face. She's a shocking 4 frames of animation. It's beautiful. And if you like Coco, you'll like the next run, Crash Team Racing, done by Natty. Definitely stay tuned for that. The PlayStation block this year is incredible. I definitely recommend just staying where you are and just watching all the runs because they're just fantastic. But yeah, that's Crash 2. Thank you for having me.
Well, that was Crash 2 100% by Sword of